I said we're gonna do some triggers while I was explaining the topic. I totally forgot. So, to make up for that, I'll give you guys some of those triggers in this video. But today's concept is how do I get / stay in shape. So, one of the reasons why I wanted to make this, I'll just say quick, is because, we keep seeing trends online like, oh, need to get in shape for summer or for beach season or some garbage. And the thing is, you should be in shape all year round. Like, what excuse do you have to not go to the gym and make sure that you're in the best shape possible all the time? There's no excuse. You can do push-ups anywhere. But anyway, put that aside. So, I outlined the 3 stages to be in. Basically starting in the gym, being going to the gym, so like you're consistently going, and then when you take a break from the gym. So, or get into some concepts that have to do with stuff like, for example, muscle memory, right? People say, oh yeah, why is it easier to get back muscle after you've already been going to the gym and you stop going? It's because your body has built up those muscles, so it's just a matter of them remembering how to do it. It's almost like, I don't know, if like Isaac Newton comes along and makes his like 3 laws of physics, like, and say you're trying to calculate force now after he's created the equation force equals mass times acceleration. You don't have to figure out how to calculate force now because somebody has done it already. All you gotta do is plug it into the formula. So it's kind of like going to the gym basically and getting your gains back after you've lost them for a period of time. You don't forget how to make gains. You just have to apply a little bit more effort, and then you're back to the place you're at. So, another analogy you can make is almost like filling air in a balloon, right? First time you don't know the technique, so it could seem like challenging, but the next time you do it, it's like really easy because you already know the technique. So, this is the concept here, that essentially, if you've already done it once, you don't need to worry about doing it again, because all you have to do is just apply the effort now because your muscles know what to do. Doesn't mean you can go easy, but it means that you can get it back more easily after you've stopped for a little bit of a period. So, I don't know if you can see because the light is really intense on the board in this spot, but starting at the gym, the potential and momentum. So the potential you have when starting to go to the gym is really high because you've never made gains before or built muscle, right, in those areas or focused on it. So your potential to build muscle is high, your momentum is low because you haven't been working out. Self-explanatory, right? Going to the gym, so consistently going. So your potential is pretty low after a period relative to how you started off, because you've been going, you've been building muscle, been getting in shape. You've been maximizing your efficiency. So your potential is somewhat lower than it was before. So I put low potential here, high momentum, because it's almost like you're pushing a rock or something and it's already in motion. If you're pushing something heavy and you get it into motion, it's easier to keep it in motion because you just have to keep applying force. But if it stops and you have to apply force again, then it makes it that much more difficult because you're going from a stop position to a start position rather than just keep applying the same amount of force. Especially if the environment changes, like say you're going down a hill now, so now you have the momentum of you pushing the same amount of force plus the slope of the hill, right? So, I'll get into the analogy with that over here. Break. So potential here is medium, momentum is medium. You haven't been going, yes, but your potential, you've gained a little bit of room for potential, so that's why people take rest breaks. Sometimes me, like if I've been training for a lot throughout the year and I feel like I'm pushing up against a wall because my body is fatigued, which is very rare, but it does happen. I'll take maybe a week or 2 or 3 3 off from the gym, and when I come back, I'm stronger than I was before when I left, because it was just a matter of I was in a state where I was pushing and pushing and pushing, and I couldn't push any further without any more room, right? So it's all about pressure, right? So sometimes taking a break actually gives you that room that you need to break through a ceiling. Not always, but sometimes, especially when you've been training very intensely, right? So, momentum there is medium. Obviously, you haven't been training, but your muscles still are remembering you going to the gym consistently, so it hasn't lost that momentum completely either. Like I said, muscle memory, your muscles are still in a state where it remembers how to make muscles and remembers what the contraction feels like. You've already done it once, it's easier to do again. So I'll spin around and show you the little board analogy. Push off the wall there. Maybe I'll bust out the triggers now too, that we're busting out the little spot in the board here. So I'm just placing the dots on the board more clearly so you can see. So obviously, starting going to the gym, like I said, you have high potential. Your boulder's at the top of a hill. You have high potential when you start pushing, when you get it into motion. Low momentum, because now it's at the bottom of the hill when we come to momentum here, because momentum means like what force do you have from it being emotions, not emotion, so it's low, which stems to why, like, when you start going to the gym, you make muscles more easily, but it is also harder. It's a little bit of a paradox in some ways. And when you've been going to the gym, it's when you've been going to the gym, got a little bit confused for a sec. So your potential is low because you've been going, right? So to break through that ceiling, like I was talking about, you require more force. So because your potential is lower, momentum here on this one is high. It's like you've come out of the top of that valley and now you're at the next rift. So to keep pushing, you have more force behind you in terms of momentum to keep going and keep going and keep going. So momentum translates more to consistency, while potential translates to you getting to a next level. So, like I said, potential low here because you've been training consistently. Momentum is high because you've been going and now you're in shape. During a break, your potential is at its medium because your boulder or your rock or your stone, whatever you want to say, it's at a medium point because that potential has not slid all the way down into a point where it's low and it's like challenging to get moving with more force because you've given yourself time to rest and whatnot. And medium momentum because, like I said, you haven't lost it all either. Like, the muscles are still there, they're still doing their thing, they still remember your training. So you're at this medium point where there's a lot of room for growth in either direction. Either if you slack off and you don't pick it back up again, then you'll eventually lose it, and you can still get it back no matter how long it's been, but it's just more challenging to do, right, the longer it goes. Or you have the opportunity to apply that momentum back and break through a ceiling, right? So again, you can reach a new level, essentially. So let's bust out the triggers. are saying like, oh, why isn't bro cut his nails yet? Is because I specifically let them grow, because like I knew I was gonna be doing ASMR today. So something you shouldn't be having, unless you're like at the top of your game in terms of going to the gym. But if you're starting going to the gym and you're on a break, you shouldn't be eating like, just whatever you want. You should be committed to eating whatever is going to support your development, let's say. But in the event you are training hard and you want something to reward yourself, and maybe you'll have a pizza. There's no pizza actually in this box anymore, but there was before. So there was pizza in this box before. Stone oven pizza. But now there's no pizza in it. Pizza's very tempting after you had a long, challenging workout. Try to get some protein in too, though, if you're listening to this and thinking about pizza. Me just remembering here that, like, most people are gonna be watching this and going to bed. So, about to cut my nails after this. I try to make these videos as like professional as possible by like focusing on the topic most of the times, but like I'm curious whether you guys want me to like share more from my personal experience too. I get there's gonna be a lot of like different audiences like watching this, but like a lot of the times, like though, I just like wonder like if I should talk more about like my own self. But I just wanted to say like, I appreciate actually like, having this community and doing these videos for you guys, because not only am I helping you on your journey and sharing what has helped me in my journey, but honestly it gives me like an outlet of like purpose. I feel like when you're aspiring to do things in life, especially sometimes that no one will understand, giving your viewpoint on the world, like say like reunite with your twin flame or something like that, it's like challenging when you know these things deep within you, and like I don't know, it's almost like you're on a mission but you don't really have an outlet for your passions or your drive or that energy that needs to be expressed. That's why a lot of martial artists or people who are like really into training go to the gym, or they like, train martial arts or do yoga or stuff like that. It gives them an outlet for their energy. Me, I like doing this because not only do I get to build this community with you guys and like help other people change their life in the way that they want it to go, as well as like learn myself from even teaching you guys, but also, I don't know, helps me feel close to her. So thank you guys for giving me helping me have an outlet for my energy and purpose and stuff like that. It really means a lot. I know we kind of strayed a little bit far from the topic of the gym, but again, it all comes back to development and what your goals are. One of the things I wanted to say here in regards to this was that the muscle memory is something that you do have. That was my tummy. You do have. I encourage you guys to always find new levels when you're in the gym. help yourself as much as possible. Because like when you need that, you'll have it. A lot of times people don't realize like just how much they actually get out of going to the gym until like they're not going anymore. And like even me myself, I've seen like the difference between like when I'm actually like training hard and when I'm like not training as hard or whatever. Because like it's almost like a feeling inside of yourself, you know? It's almost like if you've reached a really high potential and you haven't reached that potential again, you always have that knowing inside of yourself that like there's a next level to find, right? That's the majority of what I have for you guys today in terms of this. But yeah, I might make a video soon actually talking about like, I don't know what it actually feels like, or maybe that essence of like the one, you know? A lot of times, like, especially very spiritually sensitive individuals or spiritual sensitive, blah, 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 whatever, you know what I mean? Energetically sensitive individuals, they can feel things a lot of the times before they come to pass. Not just like any fleeting thought, like most like things are just things you're entangling with and then letting go, unentangling with, which is what a lot of thoughts are. But like when you have one that's reoccurring, like somebody like, I don't know, on the opposite side of the planet that you know is like destined for you just by like seeing them once, it's like your soul instantly knew. Even if like, I don't know, it's almost like you get memories back that you didn't know you had. I think this might be too deep for this video. But like that's what a lot of experiences for like very energetically sensitive people are sometimes. They remember somebody and it's like, I don't know, it's just challenging to deal with it. Like, you know, you and that person like were once like, I don't know, almost like unified or like together, and like now there's like all this distance separating you, even though like you're still destined to be together. It's just there's that challenge to allow it to come to pass. You know, almost like just being apart from someone for a long time is hard. So anyway, excuse my wandering mind today. I've just been thinking a lot about that like recently. But in any case, I think I'll end the video there. Let me know if you guys enjoyed this concepts about the gym. I know the concepts got like yeah, towards the end. But yeah, I don't know, I really love to like talk with you guys or share like more in depth about myself, because like, you know, you guys should know who you're like watching, and like, you know, I also wanna like feel like I can connect with you guys as well, be authentic, right? So anyway, that's what I have for you today on the Sword of Mercury. Let me know if you guys enjoyed this video in the comment section below. Let me know if you want me to drop more videos on fitness, because I will do it anyway. So let me know which topics you guys might like to watch, and I encourage you guys to follow me on Instagram at prince_of_Mercury. Same thing on TikTok, as well as you can follow me on Instagram at top_sorcerer, as well as on TikTok, same link. also, you can check out my podcast, Moonstruck, which will be actually on Rogers TV. So I will link it when I have the link for that. So if you're interested in checking out the content for that, I will link my content to my other channel below, and feel free to like and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really love all your guys' support. It really makes a big difference when you're on this mission by yourself and people are valuing what you're doing genuinely just because they like hearing what you're saying. So it does make a big difference. Thank you guys so much. So I hope that you guys have snuggly dreams, and I will see you all in the next video.